that this earth is mine, saith the Lord. And that means it belongs to all of us, that we all have an inherent right to share in the planet's goodies. Do you understand? So our paradigm should be wantonly different from what it is. Do you understand? We should all be born unspeakably, unfathomably wealthy. And the system still works. Do you understand? We still serve because you have a godly instinct to serve, to not be around, sitting around being a lazy, decadent, self-serving slob, okay? That's boring. You're not in the game. People want to be in the game. Do you understand? So they want to use their God-given talents to be appreciated, to be useful. It's just the way it is. And we can do what we want, and we should do what we want, where we want, for who we want, when we want, how we want. You call your own shots. You don't need Big Brother. So that's what I highly advise, highly recommend, highly suggest to everybody, friend or foe. I don't care about your political, social, economic leanings, philosophies, theorems. Okay, none of that even matters if you just cut to the chase and get to the bottom of stuff. But these people at the top, they're scraping the bottom of the barrel now. When I see what they're doing, but I see Alex Jones, man, he's letting me down right and left in the halls of Congress there. And, you know, he's getting into it with some guy that works for CNN at some executive level that's getting money purportedly from George Soros types. And he's probably rubbing elbows with the Bilderberger group. But Alex, man, you losing your cool. What in the hell did you help, man? You know, you're just in people's faces like Rubio, Marco Rubio. You think you want any friends? And then I got to watch Roger Stone even. Okay? You know, he talking about the guy's height. The guy's average height, he looks like to me. Who the hell even cares? What in the hell? How immature and childish. Roger, you're up in your 70s, bro. What in the hell are you thinking, man? What are you talking? You're not going to win any friends. I mean, who are you really working to help Alex Jones? Or are you working for the establishment that really doesn't want anything to get fixed? Who are you winning friends? Are you winning conservative friends by talking stupid, talking immature about Marco Rubio? Who and how, Alex, how are you winning friends? You could have been much more cool comic. You're not taking people's advice. You're not taking anybody's advice. Your own guests that tell you. Your guests I have the greatest respect and admiration for that are telling you stay cool. Like Joel Skousen. You're not taking his advice. Stay cool, calm, and collected. You'd be way more effective. You'd be able to influence people vastly more than what you're doing. What the hell is wrong with you, man? You need to get your brain checked. You might have a freaking tumor. Okay, what's wrong here? Maybe you are working for the other side, Alex, Roger. I don't know what the hell's going on here, but I'm beside myself. I'm disillusioned, man. I don't know what the hell's going on. I'm upset. I'm just tired of Satan just trampling the decent people under hooves. We're all decent people if we choose to be. Be true to yourself, man. Be be all that you can be. Be real. That's all the most we can do and be is real. Embrace your fellow human beings as brothers and sisters. Let's just, let's defy satanic forces, the spirit of the air of dividing us. That's just trying to get the focus off them. Let's defy them and come together and unify. We're going to need to, man. There's powerful demonic forces in America that are desperately trying to grapple the helm out of Trump's hands. They are just desperate that he's going to somehow get the trajectory going the other direction, start paying off this national debt. We start seeing the country going into the black. Okay, we start seeing our cost of living go down. And that's a win-win for liberals and conservatives, man. I'm for lower taxes. That means your cost of living tax. I'm a good guy. I'm a real guy. I'm a guy that's just trying to be a good friend, a good brother, a good servant to God. This is it, man, because I got nothing else. I am no better than anybody else. And I don't see the profit in trying to be any better. I don't want to be. I don't get that. I just want to be all that I can be. I want God to love me. And I want people to love me. I want them to like me. I want them to respect me. I want them to get me. I want them to say, I get why that guy is so frustrated. I get what's annoying him. He's had to watch this thing unfold for a long time, man. I've had a thirst for justice for a long time, since they murdered JFK. My dad and I disagreed on a lot of stuff. He turned into a bit of a socialist, and I was going the other direction. He thought of me as a stuffed shirt, and I thought of him as a bit of an establishmentarian. Okay, and that wasn't good. But we were inextricably bound together through two men of our generation, JFK and Martin Luther King Jr., and that is a beautiful thing. And we can all do that, man. So all your people you know that are liberal in your family, I mean, somebody, you've got to break the ice somewhere and say, let's get together here. This is a win-win for liberals and conservatives as far as your burden, your cost of living tax, your governmental taxes and fees and registration and all the other, where we got to pay this money to. We got to stop making jobs just for a handful of people like the meter maids and meter men out there writing tickets and working for the Chamber of Communists in a quasi-proxy way for the businesses who just like it. Well, we always have plenty of parking now for our employees of our businesses downtown. So this is good. We don't want people parking and just getting free stuff. They're not even going to the businesses, or maybe they are, but we want to just come down, shop, and leave, right? So they start stealing stuff. That's what they're doing. They're stealing public parking and making it privatized. Why? What's the difference? So, well, no, it's not private. It's owned by the city or whatever. Oh, you know what? You all sicken me. Well, it was by the wooings of your Chamber of Communists that said, oh, this is a good idea. And they explained it to some people, and they explained it to some people, and the city council, and they voted. Okay, let it be so. It's communistic, man, and I'm against my cost of living going up. So if you take parking away, that's just one little example of just a plethora of manifold ways that they do this, these fees and taxes, this cost of living tax, that they do these things. Understand where it's going. So I don't care if it's a government entity or a private entity. It's a tax. It's a burden. If it walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it's a tax, okay? It's a duck. You get it? So let's not play stupid, okay? Because all of you that want to play stupid and are intellectually dishonest, a sophisticated way of being a liar, you rationalize in your own head, well, I just can't prescribe to that guy's belief. He's just too liberal. But then you see you're shooting yourself in the foot. You're cutting off your nose to spite your face when you realize that you can't deny the fact that what I'm saying when I talk about a basic income like an extension of Social Security, allow 18-year-olds to never be socially insecure, so financially insecure, okay, by allowing them to have a basic income. Okay, you say, I'm just too over the top. And I'm telling you, well, you know what would happen to crime, right? You know how many homicides, right? So by default, you're against me in this basic income thing. You're for that. You're for higher taxes because you pay way more taxes. Okay, way more taxes. You know how much it costs? One guy in jail for a year, 50 grand in California. One guy for 1 year. Do you understand? One little example. So your taxes would plummet with a basic income that extended to people at 18 years old and up. That's it, man. 30 grand a year by today's standard. It used to be a couple thousand a year would have been plenty. You could be a homeowner and everything else on a couple thousand a year. Look what they've done to our currency. You think that's incompetence? You think that could have been prevented? Think again, folks. The Labor Department. There's more than one way to skin a cat. The Labor Department. Just as if they had given and demanded commensurate, proportional, equivalent cost of living adjustments to minimum wage over the years, they would have prevented it. The employers would have bitched and moaned, rightfully so. What do you mean by law? I got to pay my employees more? And good. Let's have the discourse. Let's have the dialogue. Let's have the discussion, the conversation at that point, and point the finger. Say, who's manipulating markets? Who's colluding? What special interest groups are fixing prices? What's going on here? Let the government get in there involved, and let's oversee this thing and have checks and balances. Let's see what's going on here because we're not seeing progress. Remember I talked about the micro community, a micro nation? We'll just expand that to a macro nation. So the government needs to be involved in making sure that the people get to stay on the right track toward progress, toward your declining cost of living. That's toward freedom. Because in order to be happy, we need to be free. That's at the very top of the list. And there can be no conditions on that. So the only acceptable plateau we can reach as a society is when everybody is universally and absolutely free. Of course, that includes financial, monetary freedom. So I hope you get a little bit of what I'm trying to convey here, okay? And it's really very simple. There's very, very many simple, plentiful solutions to our problems, but there is an element, a very powerful element, that does not want, they want the opposite of solutions because their jobs depend on the problems persisting and continuing. Do you understand? And that could be said of everybody's job, but there's some, I mean, weeds are always going to grow, so a gardener doesn't have to worry about the problem persisting. It's going to persist. The weeds are there. They need to be pulled. But creating parking, creating paid parking from free parking, that's